Yes, I did see Trey Songz rip off his do-rag and was bald.
He did a wig reveal, like, they do that on RuPaul's Drag Race where it's a thing to reveal your wig, like, you take off your wig and it's another wig, and that's what Trey Songz did.
I coulda went my whole life without seeing that.
Yeah, that was you didn't hear that, did you? I hope. Okay. Leo pulled a toy out of his toy box and proceeded to gallop with said toy. So, that's fun. Hey, girly pop.
Wagwan.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Happy to see you.
B-Y. Hey. This goes out to all my baby mamas. This goes out to all my
Oh,
baby mamas.
this is just chaotic already. Could you move? What made you sing Baby Mama? Why is that on your heart today?
I don't know. I seen a video earlier of Fantasia and her husband on stage, and her husband re-proposed to her. They've been married for 11 years, and so
Oh, he
he
re-proposed, you said.
yeah, they've been married for 11 years, and he was
No.
professing his love for her and pretty much saying thank you for the past 11 years, and gave her a carrot for each of the years that they've been married.
A carrot, like,
Yeah, gave her a new ring.
oh, that's
Gave her
nice.
a brand new ring.
We love those gestures.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I need to put Leo away. Put that. I love a re-proposal, a vow renewal, if you will.
Yeah, it was. He did his big one. I don't
He
even
did it
know who
like
that
on
man
stage.
is, but
That's nice. I was watching her biopic over the winter break, I want to say. Got into I watched the Tony Braxton or the Braxton one, the Fantasia one, and one other one I forgot, but her life was real tumultuous, I'll say, around that time.
shout out to
Shout out to Fantasia. You know, that was on my mom's voicemail for so long, so I hated that song because I would always call her and it would be like that. It would be that, and she'd be like, "Leave a message, peace." And I'm like, "Mom, just answer
bro.
the
Bring
phone."
that back. Bring back when you used to call somebody and they voicemail would be just a random song.
Did you used to have songs on your voicemail?
Of course I did. Now I don't know if I remember. I know I did. Like I vividly remember holding my little phone up to the speaker, but I can't remember what songs it was.
I can't think of having
My
any on my
godmother,
voicemail.
they used to have ringback tones.
That's what I had.
She would have a ringback, and my grandmother had a ringback, but my grandmother's ringback was like classical music. I don't know why.
My grandma's was the classical music, and then it was "I'm Every Woman" for a while.
Can you imagine calling somebody?
Yeah, I don't know. Yes,
Every woman,
literally, that was my grandma.
I love that. That's on brand for her.
That is very on brand for Graham. So shout out, Graham. I know you listening.
Yeah, shout out. Don't yell at me.
Yeah, she yelled at you one time, maybe twice.
I'm traumatized. Just kidding.
No,
Just kidding. Shout out Graham. Shout out Nifty 50s.
Shout out Graham and shout out Nifty 50s. Do y'all have Nifty 50s? And can I tell you how I just for whatever reason, you being on Philly TikTok makes sense because you be here. But me being on DMV TikTok, how did I get there? I'm seeing just in the past 48 hours, go-go music.
Hey.
Some I think this was in DC, what I can describe as a hill wherein a bunch of men are on motorcycles and they were just all congregating. And I'm like, how did I get here? How did I get there? Don't know. But I don't dislike it. I didn't realize that I liked go-go music. I didn't realize that I had been exposed to go-go music. Let me put it that way. Because Jill Scott has a lot of go-go, I think, influence in her music. And when she performs live, she does have that. And I didn't know what it was called. I was just like, it's a vibe. But since meeting you, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's like an actual regional style of music. But Jill Scott uses go-go music a lot in her live shows for sure, which my mom, I had a Jill Scott mom, so.
Shout out Jilly from Philly.
Have you listened to her new music yet?
I have not listened to her new music.
Me neither, but I'm looking forward to it.
I'll have to put that in my queue. A lot of new music has dropped. J. Cole dropped. She dropped. A lot of people dropped. So I think Alex Isley just dropped a new album. I need to go listen to her.
I know.
Listen to if you've never heard Alex Isley's music, you're missing out.
It's a vibe.
It is a vibe. Welcome, everybody. Gather around the table, the folding, the card table. I don't know.
Welcome to
Welcome.
the unofficial transcript.
Absolutely. Talk about all things college, all things career, all things adulthood, because adulthood is the most treacherous hood I've tried to live in. It's very ghetto. It's no Section 8. It is Section 8, actually.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's Section 8 for sure.
We need all the SNAP benefits in adulthood.
We do.
Wagwan.
Thank you for listening. I don't know, Wagwan. It's a great day.
It's a great day. It's a great day to have a great day. It's the day the Lord has made. Truth is, I'm tired.
Options are few. Okay, you look nice as usual.
You look amazing as usual. You know, I got to keep up with you. You feel me?
You know, me and Taylor were just talking about cutting our hair. Well, no, I'm lying. She was talking about cutting her hair, and I was just like, I miss when my hair was short.
Don't cut your hair, girl.
She said she wanted a nice grown-up bob. Like a nice bob. Like
Bobbiana?
Like a silk press bob. And you know Taylor has locks.
Oh, not a lock bob. She don't want the Libby.
Bob. Like a, yeah.
She don't want the Libby. She don't want
the Libby, though. She don't want the Libby. Well, she said she might cut it into like a lock bob, but she wants a silk
Libby.
press bob. And I'm like, it ain't nothing like it.
For those of you who's hid that one over, Libby is the black girl from Jimmy Neutron.
And they went down and with King Tut and them, and she came back. She didn't used to always have a lock bob. She had very much a puff with a swoop bang and a headband, and they went down to Egypt, and she was like, "I'm stay touch with my roots," and then she kept them locks.
Got that lock
for
bob.
the rest of the show.
That was a mean bob too.
Nasty bob.
Speaking of Bob, why is the nickname for people named Robert Bob? Like, why do people call Roberts Bob?
Don't know.
I demand that we just start calling him Bobbert.
Bobbert? Yeah. Or call a Bob? Or why don't you just call it? No, well, people named Robert go by Rob or Bob, right?
People named William go by Bob. Now that is even more
No,
ridiculous.
They go by Bill. William is Bill.
That's stupid. Why are we just throwing B's around?
It's all stupid. Richard is Dick. I don't make the rules.
I don't
just
like
call
it.
me. Just call me.
What your mama call you?
Dr. D.
Your mama don't goddamn call you Dr. D.
No, she don't call me Dr. D. Deary. What she call me?
Deary.
Deary?
Deary.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Deary. Yeah, not Dairy. Some people call me Dairy though. Like Dairy Queen.
Girl, but that's what you is.
You do call me goofy ass girl. I'm not that goofy.
I am.
You are. So you should look inward and call yourself goofy ass girl. That's what you like to say all the time. Look
I do, but to have somebody say it to me is funny.
Threw you for a loop.
Ooh. Okay. Let me get serious.
Period.
Just kidding. I would never be that. But I do have an interesting topic that I want to tackle today.
I'm nervous.
You nervous?
Yeah, what is it?
Girl, tighten up. Shaking like a stripper. So you and I both work with the youth of today.
We do.
Yes, you work with the youth via your nonprofit that you are a director of all things at.
Director of some things.
Director of some things. And I work as a basketball coach and mentor to today's youth, the youth them. And me and you often have conversations about like the things that we see in today's youth, good and bad.
Yeah.
But, you know, all the things. And I think that it is very important for parents to hear from the people who stand in the gap what we see in today's youth, right? Like, I respect parents because that job is not easy. It's a job you don't get paid for. And these kids are gremlins. I get it.
Yeah.
But I think that, again, it's important to kind of get an outside perspective of, you know, those who, like I say, stand in the gap, those who see your kids from a third party perspective. And I think it's worth it to give our opinions and interpretations of what we see and what we think. So I want to start the conversation by asking, what are some of the most common struggles that you see in kids today?
I think the most common struggle is the helplessness. Like, I think that is kind of like an umbrella term at this point, but I think what I see in young people, what I see them struggle with is giving up way too early. Like giving up as soon as they, like, instantly, like they hear the thing and they're like, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. So I think like however it goes, whatever happened to this generation, we have enabled them to be able to just give up very easily, very quickly and help them. And so I don't really think they have high expectations of themselves. They have high ambitions. Like they want to do the crazy thing. Like they want to achieve a lot, but their work ethic does not match at all. And not in a way that's
Yeah.
like, like you're young, so you don't understand how much it takes to do something. It's not
Yeah.
that. It's like there's no will to even try to figure out what you need to do. It's just like,
Hmm.
I want this crazy thing. I'm not gonna do any work to achieve it.
Yeah.
I just expect that it's gonna be given to me. And so I think they probably don't feel like they're struggling with it right now, but it's going to really like be there's going to be like a awakening for them. Like when they have their first challenge that they cannot handle, like they won't get handled for them. I think they're going to be in for a really big wake up call because they're just used to either parents or teachers or whoever just kind of letting them go,
Yeah.
getting the thing anyway, like not failing at every standard, but then be like, you know what, still pass, yes, blue ribbon for you.
Yeah.
So like I don't know what that is other than just being helpless.
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. I think oftentimes what I see with kids and their parents is that a lot of parents find it very difficult to see their kids struggle, to see their kids do hard things
Yeah.
and struggle. And the children, they ask for help. It is their knee jerk reaction to ask for help. It is not
Mhm.
their first inclination to just like power through it. The first sign of resistance that they meet, it's like panic, ask for help.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then as a parent, you don't want to see your kid flail, so you step in to help. And I think what a lot of parents don't realize is that unintentionally you are stunting their growth. And I think that oftentimes parents step in too early and kind of rescue them from the lesson, if that makes sense.
Or they never it does make sense, but it's like sometimes they don't even it's not even that they step in too early, it's that they don't give their kid an opportunity to do it. Like
Yeah.
they never stepped out.
Hmm.
It's just like constantly like a partnership between the parent and the child doing everything together, which I just don't think that was how it was growing up.
No, no, not at all.
It's rough.
It is rough, and I think that that adds a lot to like the helplessness that you were talking about. And I think it also kind of creates this pattern in a child where it's like anytime I hit something hard, I can just cry out and then somebody will
Mhm.
save me.
Mhm.
When it's like in reality, that is not the case. I think a lot of parents raise their kids, they plan on being alive forever.
Mm.
You have like one thing that's guaranteed in this life is death. You are not gonna be around forever. And so what is your child to do if every time they've gotten into trouble, you've saved them or
Right.
you've given them the answers to the test? What are you to do? What are they to do when you are not there anymore to do
Yeah.
that?
Like, it's one thing to lose a parent, but to lose a parent and lose this very codependent person that you're like
Mm.
don't know how to function without is even like doubly, triply like harder than just the
Yeah.
grief of losing someone. So I think that's very interesting take. Like parents raise their kids like they're gonna live forever. Which to an extent is
Yeah.
like really true and kind of a failure. One of the things my mom tells me a lot is like when I went away to school, she was like, "This is a test of how well I did as a parent. Like
Mhm.
how you navigate these years living 800 miles away is like where you demonstrate whether or not was a good parent or not."
That's
And
real.
I think about that a lot because yeah, like there are situations and the thing is like I don't know, parents you said like parents save their kids from hard situations. A lot of times the situations don't even be hard. Like it's not like obviously as a parent you should be there to catch your child if they fall. But like preventing them from falling at all ever is like also setting them up for failure. I can see if there's like a really big thing that they're in trouble and they need the parents' help, but it'll be like mundane, easy, day-to-day
Yeah.
things that they are choosing to rescue their kid from.
Think how can I put this into words? We need to stop focusing on trying to save our kids from the fall
Mhm.
and teach them how to fall. Like
Mhm.
there are ways to fail gracefully. First of all, if you're not failing at anything in life, then you ain't living. So, and part of life is failing. Like
That's how you learn.
everything is not going to work the first time you try to do it.
Yeah.
But you got to teach them how to fail and let them know that it's okay to fail. I think that we try to shield our kids from failure too
Yeah.
often. When it's like that's not the reality of life. Life ain't perfect and it's not going to always be sweet. You're going to fail. You're going to fail.
Yep.
But how do you bounce back?
That's what is learned. Like my fear is that because I work in like youth workforce development, so I have to think in terms of how these young people will end up, how they will show up in the workforce. And so that's something I'm really aware of, and it's like what we are doing as a society, enabling this generation to get away with the bare minimum, let their parents step in and advocate for them in ways that's like, completely unrealistic in the real world. What I'm trying to do is replicate a work experience for them, like expose them to what a work experience is like, right? If you're late every single day to your real 9 to 5, your parent can't call up to the job and say, sorry, they overslept. Like, this is the stuff I deal with. Teenagers, like, these are not even little kids. These are 16, 17, 18-year-old young people that are like just falling short of the expectations, like no more, no less, just falling short of what they signed up to do. And it's not the kids calling, it's not the young person advocating for themselves and saying, hey, I want to take accountability. It's the parent saying, I want to take accountability for my kid not doing XYZ. And it's like they're 17, 18, 19 years old. What are they going to do? They're grown.
They're adults in the eyes
They're
of the law.
grown, right. So, like, when they go to college, when they go to the workforce, you cannot do that. And then, like, you would have set them up because they're gonna make a mistake in their job or in college or wherever they are, and they're gonna say, "Mom, can you handle this? Can you call me out of work?" Or whatever. Like, that's so unrealistic, and I'm afraid for the future, like, honestly, like
Yeah, for sure. And there are so many things that I believe parents just, well, actually, I don't know what it is, but things just don't automatically click once somebody turns 18. Like on their 18th birthday, the stuff just don't fall out the clear blue sky and
Right.
land in their brain.
Right.
You gotta start these habits early. You gotta start that independence early. Like it's like learning how to ride a bike. Like, yeah, you might have trainer wheels or whatever, and when you take the trainer wheels off, yeah, your parents might hold you for the first
Mhm.
couple feet, but they gonna let you have to let go and let them pedal on their own. That's the only way they're gonna learn how to ride a damn bike.
Right.
That's the only way they're gonna learn. You cannot. You gotta cut the cord. Cut the cord.
Yeah. I
And
realized that
understand
Oh, go ahead.
they have to understand that everything has a consequence. And I think that a lot of people automatically assume that the word consequences has a negative connotation attached, and it's not. That's not necessarily the case, right? Consequences could be good or bad, but everything does have a consequence. And once you like you, that is a principle that has to be taught to a child from
Mhm.
early age. Go ahead.
Do you remember the first time you realized that your actions had consequences as a kid?
The very first time,
Yeah, or just like a time from your childhood where you realized, like, something you did had a consequence.
for sure, absolutely, absolutely.
There's one Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, go ahead. I want to hear.
There's one situation where I basically called my mom's bluff on something, and she very much
Mm,
was not bluffing. I think I was maybe, like, 9 or 10, maybe 9, like, the summer I was turning 10. And my mom, like, I joined this drill team, step team situation, and so my mom was like, "The one condition of you being on this team is you gotta keep your room clean." And I was like, "Okay." And I remember thinking like, "Okay, like, you signed me up, you paid your money, you're
mm,
like, you paid for it, like, you're not gonna waste your money." Basically, that was my
mm,
mindset, thinking that for her. So one day, like practice was every Saturday, and so one day before practice, like I kind of halfway cleaned my room, like I just was stuffing stuff under my bed in the closet, whatever. So my room was very much it looked clean, but it was not. So of course,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm ready to go to practice or whatever. And my mom like is going through my room and starts ripping it apart. She's like, "Oh, you just throw everything." So she's pulling stuff out the closet, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" So by the time she finished doing all that, my room is a mess again. And she was like, "Well, clean this up." And I'm like, "Well, I have practice like right now." And she was like, "Oh, you're not going to practice because you didn't clean your room." And I remember thinking like, but but you paid for the practice already. And she's like, "I don't care. Like I told you like what the rule was or what the one
Mhm,
thing you had to do was keep your room clean, and you chose
mhm.
not to do that. So now there is no step team, no drill team." And I was like, I just remember being like, "Yo, she wasn't lying. She was not lying." And I really was miserable, and I didn't never went back to practice after that because I did not
Ever?
clean my room. Never. It wasn't like you missed this one practice. It was like your being on this team is contingent upon you keeping your room.
Damn.
Straight like that. And
Straight
I
like
was
that.
like, and I've never called her bluff never again. Never, not once.
How old were you?
Like 9, like 9 or 10. I think it was the summer I was turning 10. So I was either 9 or 10, something like that.
Shout out
Yeah.
mama. She stood
But,
on
like, I
business.
think these parents these days is not like that at all. They might say that.
They fold. They fold.
They
They fold.
fold immediately, like, "Oh, yeah, well, let's go to" it I don't think that is what these parents are doing these days.
I doubt it. I will say, I ain't gonna say. I mean, I've called my mom's bluff many a time, but none that I can remember vividly off the top of my head. What I will say is there was a situation. There was a situation that happened that really taught me about like consequences and decision making. And I was in like the 7th grade, and so me and my cousin Todd went to the same school, and where we went to school at. So like Todd house might have been, I don't know, maybe a mile and a half down the road from where I was living at the time with my
Mhm.
grandmother, and our school was probably like 5 miles away from where we lived at, and so we caught the bus to school. And this one particular day, it was a Tuesday. I'll never forget it. It was a Tuesday. We was on our way home from school on the school bus, and again, we was in middle school. And the way that the schools was set up, the middle school was right next to the high school. And so we was on our way on the bus back home from school. And on the bus, we was like, "Dang, it's this hip hop show going on at the high school, and we really want to go." It was like, I don't know. We probably got out of school at like 2:50 or something like that, 3 o'clock, and the thing might have been at like 5 or 6 or something like that. And so we was like trying to plot on how we was gonna get to the fashion show, to the hip hop fashion show at the high school.
Mm.
My mom, she wasn't gonna be home in time or whatever. The only option I had was like my grandmother. So I remember calling my grandmother and being like, can you take me to the school to go to this fashion show or whatever? Meanwhile, Todd trying to figure out on his end how he gonna get there. So she tells me that she would take me, and I'm like, all right, bet. But she like, I need you to do something for me real quick. Take this over. We had some older women as neighbors. She like, go over, check on Miss Alice, make sure she good, blah blah blah. So I leave to go next door to check on her. And while I'm gone, mind you, this was years ago, so like I ain't had no cell phone. It was very much landlines.
Mhm.
And Todd calling the house phone. I'm not there, so I didn't answer. So he called me, I didn't answer. So whatever. Time goes by, my grandmother comes and she picks me up and we on our way to the school. When we on our way to the school, I see all of these police cars and ambulances zooming. I mean zooming, which is not like a abnormal thing to see because there were a lot of accidents on the road that we were traveling on. So it was like,
Mhm.
oh, it might have been another accident, like, or somebody hit a deer or something. Like it was very, again, it was a common occurrence for things to
Mhm.
happen on the street. But it was just emergency vehicles flying, zooming. So we get up to where the accident was, and I see this big suburban flipped over on the roof in the woods, and I see these people sitting on the curb. I mean, sitting on the street, and I'm looking. I'm like, that look like Todd. So we pull over, and I'm like, yo, what happened? He told me that he didn't have a ride, so he took his mother's suburban,
Mm.
and then was planning on driving to the school. On
How
the
old were
way,
you?
we was in 7th grade. On the way, he went to go pick up some other friends or whatever. Long story less long, one of the passengers in the car that he had passed away. She was on life support, and then her family decided to pull the plug days later. So she
Mm.
ended up passing away as a result of the accident. And I remember thinking like that could have been me. My mom asked me like, okay, if he would have pulled up in that suburban, ready to take all of y'all to the school, would you have got in? And I was like, honestly, I can't say no.
Right.
I can't say I wouldn't got in the car, and that easily could have been me that my family was pulling the plug on, right? And so, hey, I have a hold you are in 7th grade. I think that
Yeah.
situation taught me like how to think about situations from a whole. Cause like you're not thinking, oh, I'm gonna get in this car, we're gonna get in a freak accident, the car's gonna do cartwheels into the woods and I'm gonna die. You're not thinking
Right.
like that. You just thinking like
Right.
we just trying to go to the
The
school.
fashion
We just
show.
trying, just trying to go to the fashion show. And so um, RP Pamela, I'll never forget that.
Yikes.
But yeah, like that situation really opened my eyes. Of like, yo, you really got to think about stuff before you do it because you just never know. You just never know. Your intentions could very well be to just have fun or whatever, but
Mhm.
stuff happens. You
Stuff
put
hap
yourself in situations and stuff can happen.
stuff happens. It's really
Real.
crazy.
That was real
Sorry
crazy.
that happened.
Yeah, and to watch
7th
to watch
grade, you're like
him
12.
Yeah, to watch him go through all of that, like he was hurt behind that. It was a whole thing. Like he got charged with all this crazy stuff. I'm like, yo, all because we wanted to go to the fashion show. Whole life changed
Yep.
because of one decision. One decision to take your mama car
It be that fast.
That fast.
It's that fast.
That fast. So, one of the things that I see as a coach is a lot of kids these days lack the ability to regulate themselves emotionally. And I think that as adults, it could be the result of a lot of overcorrection happening, right?
Mhm.
Like I think when we were growing up, we were always kind of just like it was almost like we weren't allowed to have feelings, right? Like yeah, we wasn't they ain't want to hear that. Like, and also, I don't think that we did not have the vocabulary, I think, to name the things that we were feeling. I think kids these days, like, everybody's depressed or everybody is anxious, everybody got anxiety. Like, we've taught them all these things. We've given
Mhm.
them all of the verbiage to be able to describe what they're feeling, but we did not teach them how to deal with it. We didn't teach them how to regulate it, right?
Right.
Like I'm sure a lot of us grew up anxious. I don't know, but like we wasn't out here using it as a crutch. And I think a lot of kids these days are using it as a crutch, and
Oh,
then we
real
pacify them,
bad.
we baby them, and so they don't feel the need to have to get over it because they just know like, well, if I'm anxious, like that's my cop out,
That's my cop out.
and I don't like that.
No, like, anxiety is a part of life. You can have you there are situations that you could be anxious about or you can feel anxiety. But I think you're right in that we don't give them the tools or the resources to navigate life through with anxiety. We give them the word anxiety, and then that's being used as like, well, I need accommodations because I have anxiety. And I don't know, like, I don't know. I think there needs to be a happy medium. Like, I don't think the before times when we didn't care about our mental health or we didn't prioritize our mental health, I don't think we should go completely back there. There should be space for people to, feel like whatever place they're in is a safe environment for them mentally. However, that does not mean that you don't have any challenges or
Yeah.
any like that you don't have to face any hardship anymore because you have this or that.
Hmm.
Like we cannot baby proof the whole world. And we can't baby proof the workplace, we can't baby proof school. Like
Somebody said this to me the other day, and I wish I could remember your name. Somebody said this to me the other day, and they said we spend so much time world proofing or child proofing the world when we should have been spending more time world proofing our children.
yes, absolutely.
And I'm like, bro, that hits so hard. I need that on a t-shirt because it's facts.
Yeah.
You cannot protect your child from the world.
Have you found yourself as a coach like compromising or like lowering the standard for the young people that you like currently work with, or maybe just changing, adjusting your standards?
Admittedly, yes, and I think it's because I think at some point I felt like I was fighting a losing battle because at the end of the day, in order for any parents out there, if you have anybody else in your child's life that stands in the gap, and what I mean by stand in the gap is like if you have anybody who was in your child's life that's not there at home and not necessarily there at school either, or
Mhm.
the teacher could be also the ones that stand in the gap, right? But they're not with your child all day, every day like you are, right?
Mhm.
Those are the people that stand in the gap, right? So as a coach, I stand in the gap. Excuse me. And I feel like if me as a coach, if me and you as a parent are not on the same wavelength when it comes
Mhm.
to how we help raise your kid or how we get your kid to the next level, how we prepare your kid for whatever, right? I'm fighting a losing battle. If you're gonna go and defy everything that I try to instill in the child, then I'm fighting a losing battle.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I feel like sometimes it's like talking to a brick wall. Like I might as well because you're gonna undo everything that I'm trying to do.
Yep.
So
100%.
it's sad though. Like me, I love every single kid that I coach as if they're my own. It's nothing I wouldn't do for them. If they need a
Mhm.
ride, I go pick them up. They need, if they need me to come down to school, I come down to the school. I do whatever because I'm trying to raise, like, bump a basketball player. I'm trying to help raise a young woman, right?
Yeah.
And as somebody who's been there, done that, I know what the world is like. I know I used to be a crash out. Like I used to be these kids that I'm coaching, so I
Mhm.
know, right? And I'm just trying to teach them the same lessons that I learned through sport using basketball as the medium to do that. And I cannot tell you how many times I am trying to instill a lesson in a kid and the parents just they don't care.
Yep.
And I don't understand how I can care more about your child's growth than you do.
Yep. I don't know if it's that they don't care. I don't think they would say that they don't care, but how they act is they act as if they don't care. They say out their mouth that they care, but the actions are like counterintuitive. Like,
Yeah.
I think I deal with parents less in my current role, but when I was a teacher and I taught little kids, it was a lot more of that, obviously, because they were so young. But yeah, parents just are not true partners in a sense. And if anything, in my case, the parents act like I work for them, like I was their employee, and I was just there to do like I was a teacher, I was there to teach. Yeah, my tax dollars pay your salary, and so you got to do da 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 da. And that's the attitude that a lot of parents have. Hence, why I'm not a teacher anymore, because that is we don't have to talk about the teaching profession right now. I don't want to go there. But you are putting in so many hours, like way more hours than they're paying you for, way more money than they're paying you for. Like when I say I've bought school supplies, clothes, food, like stuff that has nothing to do with school for my students because I care about my students. And the parents be like, better head. That's the mindset. Like,
Yeah.
well, better head, like that. Okay. Thanks, I guess. I think it's rough, but I don't know.
You have to understand as a parent, right? Well, let me before I even get there. I won't speak for you, but for me, it was very much a village that helped raise me, right? I could go outside or anywhere. I could be out in the wild. It doesn't matter. If you knew me, if you knew my mama, if you knew my grandma, you had license to correct me if you see me doing something wrong. You had license to
Mhm.
discipline me if I was out of line, right? And a lot of parents these days have this mindset that nobody can say, you can't say nothing to my kid.
Yeah,
Only
not
I can talk to
mine.
my kid. You
Yeah,
can't. Man, that's a setup.
it's rough. What happened to the village? You want villagers when it's time to pay for stuff. You want villagers when it's
Ooh,
time to when you need a
I almost threw my
babysitter. You want a
glasses
village.
across the room. Oh Lord, I
You
almost.
want a village when it's time when it's pouring into your kid in terms of money or gifts or something that you want, but not when it comes to discipline or even just like life lessons. Like
Yeah,
make it make
yeah.
sense.
Like,
And you can definitely speak for me in that it was a village. Like I grew up in a very Afrocentric school upbringing to the point where we called our teachers basically mom and dad. Like it wasn't Mr. or Miss, it was basically mom and dad. And it was an agreement between the parents and the teachers. Like we are with your kids all day. We treat them like they're our own kids. We love them
yeah,
like they're our own kids. And there were parents who would be like, beat them, beat her. Like
yeah,
they were very much in cahoots. It was me, it was the mom and the teacher against you. Like if anything, it wasn't us against the parent. I mean, us against the the teacher. It was the adults against the kids
yes.
because we're working together to raise you to be like a good person.
It's not the case these days. These
Mm-mm.
days, all the kids got to do is say, "Coach A said," "Coach A did," and now Coach A the bad guy.
Yep. Yep.
And I don't mind being the bad guy. I don't mind being the bad guy.
Yeah.
But what happened to the village, man? What happened to the village? Kids need more voices in their ear besides you. Kids need more people telling them right from wrong than their parents. Because, contrary to what you may believe, at some point, your voice in your kid's ear sound like the teachers in Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. They don't hear that. They're going one out the other. They hear
Yep.
you say the same thing over and over again every day, their whole life. It's background noise to them at this point.
Yeah, they filter it out. So you
My
have
God.
to be accepting or accept that you're going to raise little hellions basically who don't care about other people. Because I think having a village also means that your kid will respect the opinions of others. Like
Mhm.
there's no hierarchy of who's valid and who's not. Because there are some people who will just blindly listen, like, "Oh, my mom said this, so that's the truth." And I think it's healthy to disagree. Like I can say, "Okay, well, your mom said this, but or and I think this. So now you have both opinions. Now make your what do you think? But if it's just my mom said this, my mom said that, and your mom can do no wrong,
Yeah.
what are we doing? It
One of
diminishes the
the
trust as an expert. Like that's what I'm like.
Yes.
You are an expert in what you do as a coach, right? Like
Yep.
you know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about in my position. What do you know as a parent? You know your child.
Mm.
So let's rely on each other.
Yeah. The thing and with me, right? I don't take my role as a coach lightly. Like I said before, I don't yes, I'm teaching them basketball, but more than anything, I see them as humans before I see them as basketball players. So while I am teaching them the game, I am also trying to teach them life lessons through the game.
Mhm.
And so, it's I'm passionate about what I do. It don't always come out pretty, right? It's not always sugar coated. It's not always flowery. Sometimes it just come out how it come out. But kids these days don't know how to take the meat and leave the bone, and they are crash outs. Like, I'm not gonna name drop none of my kids, but I have a kid where literally everything is like the sky's falling. She feel like she got to fight. She feel like she sees everything as an attack. Everything is an attack. Kids cannot take constructive criticism anymore. You can't tell them what to do. You can't tell them that they wrong because they take everything as an attack. They don't like being uncomfortable. They are not okay with discomfort. Everything has to be wrapped in a bow and given to them on a silver platter, and that is no way to set your child up for success in
Mm-hmm.
life. If any adult should be able to tell you that it's nothing sweet about this world, especially if you black, especially if you a black woman. It's nothing sweet. It's
You
nothing sweet about this
eh,
world.
yeah.
Thing at all.
Every
You
not
cannot.
everybody should be like nice to you all the time.
No, no. As a matter of fact, assume that a motherfucker is not gonna be nice to you.
And like
Assume that they not gonna grant you access.
some of the best teachers, coaches that I've encountered were not like the most sugary sweet people. Like the coaches that are hard on you is the ones that you remember.
Mm-hmm.
To me, in my very brief time on whatever dance teams or modeling or whatever it was that I was into as a kid. But the adults in the situation were not like a kindergarten teacher. They weren't like, "Hey everybody." They were like, "Do this." They talk to you like they have some
Right.
standards. Like if you're not doing it right, they're not going to say you're doing it right even if you're doing it wrong. They're going to say you look a mess. Like try it again. Try it again until you get it right. And that builds character.
It builds character. It builds character.
We
Do
can't
you
just
think?
praise.
Do you think
Mhm.
that? How can I word this? Let me back up. Let me back my thoughts up.
Mhm.
I said this as a statement, but I want to frame it as a question. Do you think that a lot of what we're seeing in our youth today is a result of our generation's overcorrection as like a reaction to how we were raised, right? Like we're trying to right all the wrongs that our parents did with us. Do you think
Mhm.
that what we're seeing right now is a result of overcorrections, like the gentle parenting, for example? Do you think that's a result of an
Possibly. Like
overcorrection?
I think in a sense it is, but I also think what it really is ignorance. Like because when you say gentle parenting, I know like as a like philosophy what gentle parenting is intended to do like on paper versus what people call gentle parenting. Like gentle parenting doesn't mean you just are super nice. It just means it's a framework that you follow. That doesn't mean I'm just going to be nice to my child and never let them do it. Like let them, talk gentle to them all the time. That's not
Yeah.
all gentle parenting is. And so I think it's how we are raising our kids is more so, I think, a lack of understanding of what it takes to actually be a parent. Like, I think a lot of our generation had babies that grew up into kids, and we might not be as prepared as previous generations for many reasons. Like, I'm not saying it's whose fault it is, but I think our generation might not be as mentally prepared, emotionally prepared to raise a child, and thus they are protecting them from everything because
Yeah.
I don't think any other generation has enabled their kids this hard. Like I think it's ignorance. I think but the ignorance could be what? Out of lack of time, lack of resources, lack of knowledge, lack of village for themselves. Like I think it is an overcorrection in a sense, but I also think it's just ignorance. Like I think people say are like the no child left behind, all the kids who should have got left behind didn't get left behind and they had their own
Hmm.
kids.
Hmm.
So they don't really understand, like they don't comprehend deeply, and then they reproduce. And so
Yeah.
instead of like because they weren't challenged as kids, they were pushed along, they don't see the problem in kind of cushioning everything around their own kids.
Yeah. I think our generation, millennials, I think we got a lot going on. I think a lot of us are also trying to parent our parents and also
Mhm.
parent our kids at the same time.
That's a
And
good point.
that could be overwhelming, right? Like we're trying to teach our parents you know what I'm saying? We grown now, big dog. Like
Yeah.
we're also trying to teach our kids. And I can understand how it's overwhelming and, it's a lot. It's a lot. But we have to be honest with ourselves in terms of how much of a disservice we are doing our kids right now.
Absolutely.
And I understand the need to want to parent our parents and like kind of hold the mirror up to them and show them all the ways in which they were wrong or they could have done better or whatever. Like I get that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the kids that we are today's youth, they're already in like your parents are your parents. Like they grown, they're gonna be, they are set in their ways. But our kids are in that window where we still have influence over them. We can still write that shit.
Yeah.
So I think for a lot of us who are trying to parent our parents, we need to shift that energy and focus primarily on the kids because right now we are raising a generation that, quite frankly, I'm terrified of to
Right.
see in 10 years. I don't want to let one of them little gremlins come work on one of my teams, baby.
I don't want one of them as a doctor. I don't want one of them as a lawyer.
What?
Because all they gonna do is ask chat. What do I do? I got anxiety. What do I do?
We
No,
are a lot of us as millennials are still healing from our childhoods, and I get that.
for
As
sure.
somebody who was still very much working through that themselves, like I
Mhm.
get that. We are still healing and still trying to like name the traumas too from our childhoods. I get that, understand it. But sometimes in trying not to be our parents, we unconsciously have negative effects and impacts on our kids. And
For
that's where we
sure.
need to like be real with ourselves.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And also, this is something I never had this conversation with my mom before, but mommy, if you listening, I guess this is my way of saying it. I think no, for real, because I think
Mhm.
as black women, a lot of our parents, a lot of our moms try to shield us from seeing them struggle. Like I know my mom did everything that she could to try to like shield me and my sister from the struggle. Did we always have a place to stay? No. But there were a lot of times where like my mom didn't eat so we could eat. There were times where we were in Motel Sixes and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We weren't always stable, but she tried her damnedest to make us not feel it. Like, we whatever she was going through, we still had something to open up on Christmas. And I,
Mhm.
I, I think we try to shield our kids from seeing us struggle when a lot of children can benefit from seeing the struggle. I think we need to be more mindful of the message that we're sending. Because at the end
For
of the day,
sure.
like most people, 9% of people are going to experience some type of struggle. It might not always be financial. It might not always we're going to experience some struggle. You don't want your child's first visual of a struggle to be when they going through it.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I'm actually guilty of this with my Avery, who's not my child, but might as well be. When you don't let them see the struggle, I think the result could be entitlement, a sense of entitlement, because it's like because you don't see the work that goes into making money or like having resources because we shield kids from that reality. Like I have to work for this money and like different things cost different amounts of money. Because they don't see that or we don't talk about it, kids just think it just appears out of nowhere. Like Avery's thing is he wants a debit card. And I'm like, what do you want? What do you mean you want a debit card? Like in his mind, it's just tap, tap, tap. I want
Yeah,
a tap, tap, tap thing that will give me stuff. And like literally yesterday we were going to wherever we were going, and my first reaction was like, that's gonna cost a lot of money to go there, is what I told him. I'm like, that's a lot. And he was like, he looked at my phone and he was like, "You got the newest iPhone. You can afford to take me to this place." And I was like, taken aback because, like, first of all, why are you watching my pockets? But like that dialogue shouldn't. I feel like I don't know.
the way my mama would have jacked me
It's
up.
a sense of entitlement. Like I'm guilty of it too, even though I'm not his parent. Like I'm not his mom, right? I still am guilty of shielding him from
Yeah,
the realities. Because did we go to that place? Yes, yes, we did go because I want him to have the world. But like that, that's how it happens. Like, you don't say, "Okay, this is real." In the grand scheme, do I have X amount of dollars? Yes, but
yeah,
that is not really a good use of my money when I could be
yeah,
doing like, you could do so many other things with the same amount of money, but you wanna do this one thing. But, like, I didn't stop and have that conversation with him. I just was like,
yeah,
"You know what? I guess you're right." And I think maybe that's another thing where we put our kids on, like, the same level as us. Like, there's not a hierarchy, and I don't know if it should
mm,
be. Like, I think that's where the gentle parenting philosophy comes in, where it's like you wanna talk to a kid on your level or on their level, but I think sometimes parents put their kids on the same level as them, like, we're partners in
yeah.
this. and
Yeah.
that could be harmful too.
I think that has to be a healthy balance. Like as a coach, it's not always me just telling them, right? Like just barking orders and blah blah blah. Like that's not my style. I am very much a person who I ask them how they feel. Like I said in the previous episode, one of my mottos in life is no victims, only volunteers. I want you to play basketball because you want to play basketball. Coach A ain't gonna make you do nothing. If
Mm-hmm.
you come to me and tell me you got a dream to go to the WNBA, cool, I can help you get there, but I'm going to tell you it's not going to be easy. And I'm going to, if you tell me you want to go to the league, I'm going to be hard on you. At the end of the day, it's only 14 teams in the league, and it's only 12 roster spots per team. That's not a lot.
Right.
It's like what, 68 people, 168 people out of
So you got a lot of
millions
work to do.
millions of girls playing basketball. You want to be one of 168? Bet. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to require XYZ. It's not
Right.
going to be easy. So don't come to me with a dream. Even as a parent, don't come to me and say, my kid want to go to the league. All right, bet. So don't be mad at me when I apply that pressure.
Right.
Don't be mad at me.
You
This
have
what you
high
said you
standards for
want.
yourself, so I'm going to
Yeah,
help
this
you
is
meet
it.
those standards.
Ain't no college coach gonna want to hear. Oh, I don't feel like it's a day. I had a bad day at school, so I can't. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit.
And they definitely don't want to hear it from your mother or your parent, not from you.
They not gonna hear it from your parent. When you
Like
get to college, it's on you. That
it's
was
on you.
one of the first things I learned when I got to, so like, and this gonna sound like such small stuff in comparison to what we're talking about. But I remember when I first got to school, I developed allergies when I went to college. I did not have allergies, like seasonal allergies. I did not have them until I went. So when I got there, I'm like, bro, I'm sick. Like I can't figure out what's going on. Like I'm sneezing and coughing and stuff like that. When I got to college, I was 17, mind you. So I go to the nurse and I'm like, bro, I don't know what's going on. Like I need y'all to call my mom or something. She work at a hospital. Like I don't know, figure it out. They was like, call your mama. What you mean call your mama? Like
Yeah, literally. What do you mean call your mom?
what you mean call your mama? They was like, you an adult? I was like, I'm actually 17. They was like, oh, okay, we can call your mama. But like, yo, you gotta learn. Like you have to learn how to stand on your own 2 feet. You cannot be your kid's crutch.
Right.
Like I said before, you are raising your child, assuming you're going to be alive forever. You're not going to always be around. You're not. Your child has to learn how to stand on their own 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot save them. Stop saving them from the lesson. Stop saving them from the smoke. Let them go through it. Let them feel that pain. Let them feel that heat. Let them feel it. Let them figure it out.
Yep, because
It's
they
okay.
can't.
They can. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to watch them struggle. I know it's hard to watch them flail. I know it's hard to watch them fail. I know it's hard to watch them feel pain, or it might look like they suffering. It is
Yeah.
your instinct as a parent to swoop in and save them. I get it. But think about what that's doing though. If your child is in a safe space, if they were a coach that you trust, you paying somebody money to help your child, right? You entrusting somebody with your child, let them do their job. A lot of us as coaches or as intermediaries or as people who stand in the gap, we understand. We
Yeah.
understand the role that we play. We understand that. We're not trying to take over your role as a parent. We are like a supplementary thing
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
We're not trying to
With
be mama.
our own expertise in something that you very likely don't have an expertise in.
Correct.
So
Correct.
let me do my job, you do yours, and the child will do theirs.
Right. Right.
And that's how we win. We are going to work together.
You
But it seems
can't
like it's a
overstep
us
me.
versus them.
You can't overstep me and I can't overstep you. You can't
Yeah.
save them from everything. Stop letting them kids run you. Stop letting them run you because they ain't running me.
Yeah.
They ain't running me. I don't know what go on in your household, but they not gonna talk to me any old kind of way. I'm so sorry.
And do it
Your
before
child
it's too
might,
late.
yeah, your child might yell at you and question you. They not doing that over here. Not with Coach A, they ain't. So I'm sorry that you let your kids question everything that you do. It's not
But
happening
that
over
makes
here.
it so much harder on us as not the parent. Like, if you go back and forth with your child, then they think they can go back and forth with everybody. The teacher, the coach, the police officer, the lady in financial aid. You're never gonna go anywhere far professionally. Like, you want to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever, but you don't have the people skills. Whether or not you have the technical skills is a whole nother question, because they might try to shield you from that too. But dealing with other humans is a skill set that, whether or not you have the technical skills, you're not going to go far if you don't treat people with respect. And by letting your kid talk to you any old type of way and coming in to save them and change the rules and, I'm gonna write a letter and I'm gonna do all these things, to get you out of the sticky situation that you probably got yourself into is not going to fly like in the workforce. Like you can't, to whom it may concern, to your kid's boss. You can't do that.
I'm gonna try to say this in a way that makes sense. I've coached so many kids over the years. Some of my past players are grown now with kids, which is wild.
You're old.
But yeah, I am old. But like, if your kid is not coachable, if a young person is not coachable, eventually that translates. If you can't be coached, you can't be led, and if you can't be led, I don't know how the hell you gonna be employed.
Yeah,
Everybody got a boss.
everybody
got a boss. If you not coachable, you can't be coached. If you can't be coached, you can't be led. If you can't be led, you can't be managed. If you can't be managed, you ain't got no job.
right.
Period.
Even the CEO reports to somebody, and
Report
they
somebody.
report to a lot of somebody, so they have to deal with people.
Right.
Yeah, we need
It's frustrating.
Yeah,
It's frustrating, and I don't want to feel like I truly believe in all my heart. I truly believe that part of my purpose on this planet is to do what I'm doing, is to help the youth. I truly, truly, truly believe that God put me on this earth to do that. But parents, y'all make our jobs 10 times harder than it has to be. And we as a unit, as a collective, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. In 10 years, we will feel the consequences. When these kids grow up and we see them crashing out, y'all think people crashing out, shooting up their employers' offices now. Give it 10 years. Give it 10 years.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be able to imagine trying to fire or crash out. Imagine if you're a parent of a child, imagine your child is an adult and how they would take being fired, losing their job. How you think they would handle that? That should tell you everything you need to know about you as a parent and your child as that child.
Yeah. Look at how they act when their iPad dies.
But
listen, again, I currently work mostly with high school kids. Like all kids, like mostly 14 to 18-year-olds is who I am in contact with the most. When their phones die,
man,
and we're somewhere in person, you would think it was like a 911 emergency. Like they need an outlet, they need a charger. It's like I need to charge my phone. I need to plug my phone in. It's like, buddy, like relax. Who got a charger? Who got this? You got this charger? This charger? It's first of all, it's 10 a.m. Why is your phone dead at 10 a.m.? Like, why is your phone dead at 10 a.m.? But also, why are you this like on edge
about your phone?
About your phone. It really is these phones. And with the little ones, it's the iPads. So however they act when their device of choice dies, multiply that by 10. And that'll be them in the workplace.
We got to stop shoving them iPads in their face from the jump.
Oh, it's so bad. I told you, if I have a kid, they're going to have a DVD player, a portable DVD player, and they will be watching Franklin. And you think I'm playing, but I'm not.
They're going to have a video now.
They're going to be watching Bear in the Big Blue House on a DVD. And when that DVD turn off, it'll be time to do another activity. And they won't crash out. They're going to play with something else. You have to teach them young, like it's okay to be bored. It's okay for you to stop looking at something and you sit and think, well, what am I gonna do next? Like not freak out.
Wherever you live, you walk in any restaurant, I guarantee you're gonna see some child sitting at a table with an iPad.
And I think like to an extent, it is a very privileged thing for me. I'm coming from a place of privilege to understand how dangerous iPads can be at a very early age. Like I don't think that's common knowledge. It should be by now, but I don't think it really is something that parents are thinking about when they get their kid an iPad, of like how harmful it is to their brain development, or how harmful it is when they have so many hours of screen time. Because are iPads the devil? No. But using them as a pacifier basically is the cause of a lot of impulse control, a lot of emotional irregularity, right? Is something that I'm aware of because of the privilege of education that I have to be able to think about that and to be able to actually sit and think about at my big age how I would want to intentionally be a parent. I don't know if people who have kids have the time to sit around and intentionally think about their parenting philosophy because they're parenting, like they're in it right now. I don't have kids to like distract me from thinking about being a parent, you know?
Yeah.
So like
That's fair.
It's easy for me to say, but yeah, we gotta do better.
And that's the thing, right? Like I don't have kids of my own, but I have a lot of kids whose lives I've been a part of, and I have nieces who I very much see as my own as well, right? So I understand that parenting is hard. Nobody's saying that it's easy. And I understand that there's a lot of things going on in the world, right? Like people are healing, people are going through a lot. The government is trash. I get it. I get it. And I am not criticizing anybody's effort. I think that everybody's intentions is to raise a productive, contributing member of society.
Yeah.
But what I'm questioning is the ways in which we choose to go about doing that. Like I'm questioning the outcome. That's all. And I think that these conversations need to be had.
Sure.
I think a lot of people see conversations like this as an attack on their parenting skills. It's not that. I am just trying to shed a light on what I see, what we see as those who again stand in the gap. We see the patterns in kids, and they're not promising. If I say so myself, I am troubled. I am scared.
I'm concerned. Like the future doctor, like that's what I'm thinking about. Like doctors and like professions where you actually have to put your trust in another person, like your life, like your livelihood, a lawyer or an accountant, things like that. The things that can't be automated, like the things that AI can't take over. I'm scared.
Imagine you need a surgery. I don't know, some type of intricate heart surgery that takes 10 hours.
Yeah.
And can't nobody go without their phone for 2 hours.
But you know what I think? Like, I don't think that the standards for doctoring or lawyering or whatever are going to be lower. I think that it's going to cut out a lot of Black and brown kids to even get to that place. Because I think that the people who are shoving these technology in their kids' face it's only us. It's white people, rich people are not parenting that same way. They might not be doing it directly. They have like they might not be the ones parenting, doing the bulk of the labor that is parenting, but they paying somebody to do it. Like they go to a nanny or a nanny share or a private tutor or something. Like those kids, those billionaire children don't have iPads in their faces all day. They don't. And so those kids are going to still be able to get into the med schools and the law schools and all that. The standards are not going to be lower, but the amount of kids who look like us who are going to be represented in those medical schools and law schools and all those kind of positions are going to be much fewer. I think that is my fear. Like I don't think it's going to be less competent doctors. I think it's going to be less Black and brown kids who get the opportunity to even become a competent doctor.
Absolutely.
That's my fear.
And listen, a lot of y'all not gonna like me for what I'm about to say. I'm about to lose a lot of y'all, and that's okay. Cause you talking about our Black and brown communities, right? People that look like us. A lot of us are working these jobs where, we come home and we tired. You know what I'm saying? We work. Some people work multiple jobs to support their kids. And then, by the time they get home, they tired. They don't even want to cook, let alone listen to a kid complain or whatever. Like, I get it. And that triggers a lot of, not triggers, that's the wrong word, but because we're so tired and because we don't want to be bothered and because we just want a moment to ourselves after being busy all day and letting white people yell in our face all day and blah, 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 we just want peace and quiet. So we shove the iPad in the face of the kids to get them to shut up. I get it. But when you had that baby, you had that child, you have to understand what you signed up for, what your responsibilities are. Your obligations as a parent is not going to be easy, but you got to put in the work. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be. You're going to be tired. And I know it's easier said than done. A lot of y'all probably like, oh yeah, you ain't got no kids either. I get it. But guess what? That's why I ain't got none.
That's kind of why we don't have any, because it's such a responsibility. And I think the people who take parenting as big of a responsibility, they're either one and done or they don't have kids. Like it's crazy that like my peers, like my people who I went to high school with, whatever, I think it's about 50-50 of who have kids and who does not. But the ones who don't are killing it, like professionally outside. Like one of my homegirls moved to Paris and never came back. Like she went to grad school and never came back. Okay, people are choosing. I think because parenting is such it's a selfish choice, like to have kids. Like you want them for whatever reason you want them, but like the act of being a parent, the act of raising a child is 24/7 for the rest of your life. Like it never ever stops.
Yeah.
And I think the gravity of that is something that some people take so seriously that it scares them from having kids, like me. Like, I think I'm so hyper aware of how much of a responsibility it is that it scares me. It doesn't mean that it's a no, but it's like, you know, it's a big decision. It's not one that I take lightly. And some people just, whoopsie, I'm pregnant, and then it's just that. But then you have to deal with that for the rest of your life.
You're right.
You can't opt out. The iPad is not a replacement.
No, if the only time your child picks up a pencil, write they
At school,
letters is when they at school, baby.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. As an educator, the amount of it sounds crazy, but the amount of parents who don't view it as their responsibility to be at least a participant in their child's education. They wait for the school to do everything.
Yeah.
In my state, you don't have to send your kid to school until they're 8 years old. So there are some there whose kids genuinely do not start school until first, second, third grade. No preschool, no pre-K, no PK 3 or 4, whatever you call it in Maryland. Like they don't have to do that. Like some parents do, of course. And those are the ones who come into school with like the basic skills. But there are some kids who have had nothing but my mom's house and an iPad for 4 or 5 or 6 years.
Yikes.
They're expected to perform at the same level as a kid who has had actual preschool, who knows how to stand in line and tie their shoes and go to the bathroom without any assistance, pull their pants, like the basic life skills. There are so many basic life skills that parents do not believe it is their obligation to do. They believe it's the school's obligation, the teacher's obligation. Potty training. Why are we potty training in the first grade in kindergarten? Like you had that baby and nothing else. You lay down and that was all you did. That was the most work you did.
Hello. Oh, they ain't gonna like us. Oh, they not gonna like us.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I mean, I do mean to. I'm not sorry for what I'm saying. I'm sorry for how it comes off. Maybe that, like, as a teacher, you have to realize, like, I don't teach anymore because of a lot of reasons, but that's one of the main reasons. That like I was giving my entire life force to these 26 kids that I did not birth, did not create, to love like my own children. And then what do I get? Oh, the principal adds another one. And the next week, oh, the principal adds another one. And then the principal adds another one. And it's like, I can't do that. It's not sustainable.
Can't imagine being a teacher. You know what's crazy? I had said a little something on Threads similar to this conversation that we're having now. And I cannot, if I had $1 for every person that commented that was basically saying like, this is why I'm not a teacher anymore, or this is why this is gonna be my last year teaching.
It's like, yeah,
they are tired, y'all. The people that you are entrusting to teach your kids, they tired because y'all not doing your part. Y'all not doing your part.
They're tapping out after a year.
Teachers, I've never been a teacher, but teachers are wholly underpaid. Wholly underpaid.
Exactly.
For the job that they are expected to do. It's hard enough just doing it, period. But when they gotta do it while also combating your parenting or lack thereof, it makes their jobs 10 times harder. Like, I am shocked, honestly, that there aren't more teachers quitting.
Teachers are quitting in droves. Like in droves every year. It is not a profession that people aren't even majoring in education anymore. Like the trends in college major choices even trending down. Like nobody wants to be a teacher right now. And like I went into teaching because I obviously love school. I loved my teachers growing up. It was a village. Like I ended up teaching at the school that I attended as a kid. So I went into it with super pure intentions of like literally being who I saw, being the idols that I had growing up, being that for someone else. That was what I went into teaching. Horrible sandwich, by the way. Terrible sandwich, by the way. Like the amount of excuses, the behavior, like don't even get me started on the behavior. Like I had a student who screamed, he scrumped from the time he got there. And I taught at this time I was teaching first grade, he scrumped from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. just whining at 6 years old. And then you ask why, and it's like, or the parent, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, so he just screams all day, and except recess. He don't scream at recess, but the rest of the day he just screams.
Crazy.
What are we talking about? Like that would have never flown in my first grade classroom in 2000 whatever. You're screaming? Like, what are we doing? Now you call the principal give him a cookie and send him right back. The principal let him play games on the school iPad or the computer. walk him around the hallway, get him a juice box, and send him right back. It's for him to scream again. I'm not doing that. I'm not dealing with that. And the thing is, teachers have degrees and credentials that can go anywhere. A degree in education or a degree in English, in my sense, I could take an English degree anywhere. I don't have to do this.
Period.
And many people don't have to do, like, they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's for the birds. It really is. Unless you are grandfathered in and have a really sweet salary and like also have other things going on in your life that will fulfill you, I would not recommend. I would not recommend teaching right now.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. And you know, I will say, I'll add on to what you just said. Again, never been a teacher. I wouldn't dare. First of all, I wouldn't dare teach your
At this
children.
point, it's going to be like jury duty. Everybody wants to teach.
Ooh.
At the rate that teachers are quitting, this is about to be like jury duty or the army. You about to just get drafted to have to teach for a year or something. Could you imagine?
No, but as a coach, and mind you, I am a volunteer coach. I don't get paid to coach. I know that there are some coaches out there that do get paid, but I don't get paid to coach. So when I take on the responsibility of coaching your child, I do it for free just because that's what I feel like that's what my purpose is. Like, point blank. I actually lose money coaching. I spend my own money buying equipment and doing all that to coach. And I'm sure teachers spend their own money too, buying equipment, or not equipment, but materials or whatever. Like, I'm sure teachers come out of pocket. It is literally like a slap in the face, the way that y'all disrespect, not directly, but just in your actions or inaction. It's like a slap in the face to these people who pour into your kids. Who pour into your kids. And sooner or later, we keep talking about this village. It ain't gonna be no village. It's not gonna be a village. As a coach over the last decade, I've seen so many people step away from coaching. And many of them say the same thing. The parents are ruining it for the kids.
Yep.
They are ruining it for the kids. The parents make it about them. Everybody think their kid is the next LeBron James, the next Steph Curry. And they not. They don't put in no work. If you don't encourage your kid to pick up a basketball or pick up a football or volleyball, whatever sport they play, if you don't encourage them to do that, other than the 2 or 3 times out of the week that they practicing, you're doing them a disservice. If you don't get off your ass and take your kid to practice every day, every time they have practice, but for whatever reason you want time to the game, no, you doing your kid a disservice. Period. And I hope I'm speaking for every coach. I don't care what sport you coach. I hope I'm speaking for all coaches when I say this. Y'all gotta do better. Y'all have to do better. Y'all have to stop letting your kids tell you that they don't want to play no more because it's too hard, or they unhappy with the coach said something they didn't like. Stop letting them. Make them finish it. Make them finish it. They started it. They came to you and told you they wanted to play. Make them fucking finish it. Make them finish it. Stop letting them skate because it's hard. Stop letting them skate because they don't want to feel pain, or they don't. When you're not getting out of it that easy.
Yeah.
That's life. F basketball, F football, that is a life lesson. You can't just quit because it's hard.
Yep.
You don't like the coach.
Whoop-de-doo. You're not going to like everybody that you work with.
Period.
You're not going to like everybody you come in contact with. But you have to learn to respect them and work with them. And if they have a dream, if they come to you, if your kid tell you, oh, I want to go to the NFL, I want to go to the league, I want to go to the NBA or WNBA, okay. There's work there is work required. It's not going to be easy. Yep. That dream is not easily achievable. Them people don't get paid millions of dollars, or maybe not WNBA, but them people don't get paid all that money for nothing. Yeah. It is a small percentage of people who make it that far. You gotta be more than just good. You gotta be more than just good. You gotta be more than just capable of putting the ball in the basket or running fast. It's mental. Oh Lord, Bria calling me. I don't spoke up as devil. But it's mental. You have to build the mental. Most sports are 80% mental, 20% physical. Most sports. If they don't have it up here in the mind, they ain't gonna never make it. I don't care how far they can shoot the basketball. I don't care how fast they can run on a football field. It don't matter. Yeah. It don't matter. If they're not coachable, they got a bad attitude, they ain't gonna get nowhere in life. Period, point blank. So fix it. Immediately.
Fix it.
Parents.
But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Parenting is no small feat. That's why I have kids. And coaching is the best form of birth control. Period.
I agree with you.
But I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
I mean, I like that. I agree with what you're saying. I think hopefully parents hear this and take heed. and maybe.
And again, this is not a parental bash session. I promise you, it's not me bashing parents. Trust me, I get it. It's not easy, but
It's
this
our
is just
observations. It's just what's happening.
correct. So hopefully you can take the meat and leave the bone. And if you have a middle schooler in the Maryland area who wants to play basketball, tap in with me. Period. Point blank.
We have auditions coming up, right?
Auditions is crazy. Tryouts.
That's what I meant.
This is not Bring It.
Oh.
This is not Bring It. But no, we just want the best for these kids. We want to see them grow up to be amazing adults, resilient adults. We don't want them to grow up to be soft. The world is not soft, and the world is not going to care about they crash out.
No. You know what happens when you crash out as an adult?
Locked up, they won't let me out.
Literally.
They won't let me out. And that's what they want y'all to do anyway.
Precisely.
They want them to go to jail anyway.
So don't isolate your village. Embrace your village. And also be an active participant in the village.
Let these people discipline and coach and raise your kids. It takes a village. It truly, truly does.
It does.
And be grateful that it's people who want to be a part of your child's village. Because it's some people who have ulterior motives. Look at R. Kelly. Shit. So be grateful.
Yeah. But thank you all for listening.
That wraps up another riveting episode of the Unofficial Transcript. Hopefully, this message reaches those who it needs to reach. And if there's any other coaches or teachers who want to add to the conversation, we would love to hear from you. Tell us about your experiences and what you think.
Yeah.
And parents too. We want to hear from parents as well. We are all in it together.
Oh, not you doing Thriller for you did Thriller choreo for High School Musical. But I know what you meant. I know where your heart was, your intention was.
Yeah, we're all in this together. So, hopefully we'll be able to get our kids to where they need to be. But it starts with having a conversation. So please comment, like, subscribe, do all the things. Let us know what you think. Catch me on Threads. We can continue the conversation over there.
Catch me on Threads too. But you don't want me talking about the podcast. I just be talking. But we're excited.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for tapping in with us for another week. My dog is going crazy over here. My goodness.
Here, I'm tipping on.
Yes, thank you so much for tapping in with us. We will catch y'all again on the next episode. We love y'all. Stay prayed up. Stay blessed up. And if you don't know where to look for help, look up. God is still good.
All the time. Bye.
Deuces.